Hi, this is Paul Palmer and
Natasha Todorovic Cowan. What are we tackling about competence today, Paul?
well, I thought we'd take a different slant on it for a change because normally we've been talking about team confidence and today competence. And I want to talk today about competence of the manager and the way that that competence or lack of competence impacts the way that they can influence the team. So in some cases, I find that the manager is technically competent.
Yeah.
Now, I think I mentioned a few videos back, a few episodes back, I suppose you want to say, that I'd been working with a CEO and said that his QA manager, his quality manager in the pharmaceutical manufacturer, was technically competent. He had all the technical skills he needed, but he just could not interface with the team. And next week, I'm going to be talking on your leadership summit. And I'm going to be talking about participative leadership. And it's a really clear example of not being able to do any sort of participative leadership. Because if the leader's not competent in influencing, in working with, in even maybe communicating with the team, then they're really incompetent to be a leader.
Well, you're talking about the essential skills, and these are often dismissed as soft skills, but they are truly essential. And my mom was a chemical engineer, and she told me a story about a classmate, and her classmate struggled to get the engineering material part of it. But her classmate was amazing at the relational skills. And what ended up happening was her classmate worked overtime, studied real hard, got the technical aspects of it. But when she went to the workplace, she rose very quickly as a leader and manager because she had those essential skills of being able to pull the team together. And so frequently, when it comes to competence, most of us, and particularly those of us who are not so skilled, see ourselves as more competent than we actually are. And that's a cognitive bias. So one of the first things we have to do is assume in any situation that we're not competent, that there's information and skill missing. So that opens us up to be able to engage in the stuff that we might not be seeing. Because I worked with a team who were super, super confident, and the confidence looked like competence, but it wasn't. And they left a trail of damage behind them because of their overconfidence with the lack of competence.
Yeah, but I think there's even more to it than that, because I find that recruitment focuses on technical skills. So how does a company get to the point where they have leaders in the company when all they actually recruit for is technical skills?
What I always encourage my clients to do is look at the mix of human beings as a recipe. You are cooking and trying to bake together this performance. And you can have the most competent folks. You can have supremely skilled and talented people. But if they can't come together, if they can't mesh, if they can't work together, you've got separate ingredients that aren't blending. You've got oil and water. And if you've got that, you're going to have conflict, even though you hired the top performers.
Yeah.
You've got to, I call it fix the mix. Your mix has to be right. These are relationship systems, and the cooking has to be right.
You remind me of my first job saying that. So I'm not talking about cooking, because I don't do cooking, I don't do baking unless it's really big.
Me neither, but I get the principles.
I understand the principle, but I understand the principle for a different reason.
Yeah.
Because one of the first jobs I had was in the development of pharmaceutical products. And I was doing the testing, and what they were trying to do was to distribute the preservative between the oil and water phase, right? So when you manufacture a cream and an ointment, well, the difference between a cream and an ointment is one of them is a water in oil and the other one is an oil in water. And they both have their own peculiarities, because if you put a preservative in there that only sits in the oil, well, you get a lot of microbial growth in the water. If you put a preservative in the water, well, you might get fungal growth in the oil. So what you really look at is a balance of the preservatives that you're going to use to actually keep the microbial contamination out of both phases. And it's a balancing act because it's quite hard to get both covered.
Same for teams, same for competence,
Yeah.
same for managers trying to get the best out of their teams.
Yeah.
We got microbes and we got icky stuff getting in the way if we don't get the ingredients right.
I think that's something that we should follow up with next week on the leadership summit. We're doing a leadership summit, so Natasha's hosting a leadership summit next week. It's 21st to the 23rd of April. So that's Wednesday to Friday. So actually, this is probably going to be going out on Tuesday. So it's likely to be tomorrow. There we go. So if you're watching this 21st to the 23rd, come and join us at the Leadership Summit. I'm going to be posting a link to the summit in the comments after I've posted the video. And we'll talk to you soon. So that's Paul Palmer and
Natasha Todorovic-Cowan. Click on the link below.
Click on the link, yes. And don't fly away. Come and see us. Sorry, that's an in joke. Talk to you soon. That's Paul. I just said Paul Palmer and Natasha Todorovic-Cowan, didn't we?